Jeff Katz, former mayor of Cooperstown, baseball historian, owner of this box of Fleer baseball cards. Do you want to remember some guys?
I do it every day. I might as well do it with you.
What we have here is a lovely 1981 Fleer pack.
Yes.
Let's begin the remembering process. Ordinarily, the custom here is to break this in half. Would you mind, or if you?
Go for it.
I just want to see what kind of sound we're dealing with. Yeah, it's good, solid.
That's relatively fresh. When I was in high school in Long Island, there was a guy named Danny who used to make scuzzballs. He would basically shred a piece of loose leaf paper in his mouth, chew it. He would take it out and whip it against the wall. And it would
then what
spread, and it would harden. And that's what that gum tastes like.
Oh my goodness. That is
chewed up loose leaf paper.
So let's get a look at these particular scuzzballs. Our first guy, this is a guy that I remember very well for his hit single, Roni, Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown, yes. Yes, the rare pre-New Edition Bobby Brown. You know, I do know a lot about 1981, and he was in the Yankee outfield in the World Series making horrendous errors because George wouldn't let Reggie start.
I should say to viewers, Jeff is probably our foremost authority on the strike-shortened, totally botched 1981 baseball season. Wrote a book about it.
It was a way to punish Yankee fans by starting Bobby Brown.
This is the sort of picture that I was hoping for because I remember a lot of it. It's Rick Waits.
Nice.
Now, one of the side effects of inhalants is that you can get very paranoid. So beyond the fact that he looks absolutely high as shit, what can you tell me about Rick Waits?
I just remember him as he was a significant starter for them.
Yeah.
In a period where the Indians were terrible. And I do love the Cleveland Block C.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they brought that back.
Yeah, I was going to say that is like timeless, especially when you consider the competition is a racist cartoon.
Right, right.
Speaking of cartoons, here's Doug DeSensei wearing a bird hat.
Oh, I have a lot to say about Doug DeSensei. So the book, Split Season, about the 1981 season strike, DeSensei was one of the 4 main player negotiators with the union. And Doug was a very key source for me. A super player, a super source of information for me, who has recently got into some insider trading troubles. So DeSensei played in some minor league for the Orioles coming up. Cal Ripken Sr. was his manager. There was some like gunfire in the stands. Someone was like shooting a rifle, and DeSensei grabbed like 7-year-old Cal Ripken Jr. and like ran off the field with him. So another little weird story.
Dallas-Fort Worth is
that where it was?
Like what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Which checks out.
There you go.
So, there you go.
Thank God for minor league stats on the back of cards.
Yes. So here is Tim Corcoran, who I faintly remember later in his career as having a mustache.
I might have to have gum for this.
All right. Actually, Double Bubble is good. One Piece is terrific.
What is the duration that I have to keep this in my mouth?
Just indefinitely. We'll let you know. Here's Mike Stanton.
So I remember him as a pitcher. He actually came from the Red Sox to the Indians in the Big Eckersley trade, where Ted Cox was the premier prospect to Cleveland. But when you grow up knowing some name as a person, you can't shake that. So when Giancarlo Stanton came up as Mike Stanton, all I could think of was that Mike Stanton. And even as Giancarlo Stanton, all I think of is that Mike Stanton.
Here we see a very distressed Harry Spillman.
I just think of him as a good pinch hitter.
Yeah. He played at a minor league location called Three Rivers. Is that like Trois-Rivières, Quebec?
I think it is.
Minor league baseball used to be cooler because they would just literally put teams anywhere that you could. Yeah. My family had one for a few years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just in the backyard. We'd be asked.
Nice.
We had a rookie league team.
Did you have good promos?
It was, we had a lot of bobbleheads of my sister. Here's Ted Cox, who we were talking about earlier.
Ted Cox. So here's another Ted Cox story. So I'm doing research for the Split Season in the Hall of Fame library. Some guy comes in with another guy. This guy says he played Major League Baseball. I don't believe him. Do you have a file on him? And the Hall has a file on everybody. Oh, what's your name? Ted Cox. I'm like, boom.
Yeah, you don't even need to look it up.
I'm actually researching the 81. Can you? And he had a whole story about he was screwed over by the Blue Jays. I think he ended up with in '81.
Yeah.
But that's one of the great things about the Hall of Fame is you get like Matt Franco showed up one time I was doing research. Like guys come in and they're like, I want to see my file.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of our pack. 31 cards, and you remembered all of them. It wasn't. You remembered all of them
31.
Except for Tim Corcoran.
I'm a little upset about not knowing Tim Corcoran.
Well, hang on to it.
Well, I've got others.
That's your gift from us. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, this was a pleasure.
And for sharing the gift of guys.